Hi everyone, welcome to the Ever Seeking Empath. I'm a reader who uses tarot, oracle, and charms, and today's reading is Are You on the Right Path? So we're going to just try to figure out if you are on the correct path for your life purpose, for your spiritual growth, if you're just heading in the right direction, especially if you're feeling kind of lost or stuck right now. And we're going to try to give you some advice on how to get unstuck, how to move forward, what the best thing is to do. So before we get into the reading, I want to remind everybody that it's a general reading, so it might not resonate with everybody, so just take the messages that you feel are meant for you and disregard the rest. Also, if you enjoy this video, please hit that like button for me and subscribe to my channel if you've not already done so, because it really does help me out a lot. It helps the channel, and then you get to see when I've posted new content right away. And thank you so much to those of you who have already subscribed and commented and liked my videos. I appreciate it so much. So, we have 3 piles here today, and we're using the Sacred Traveler Oracle cards as your pile markers. So, group 1 is First Light, Beginning a New Cycle. Group 2 is Discovering Truth, You Stand in the Light of Truth. And group 3 is Rainbow Blessings, Blessings are showering your life. So just let your intuition guide you to a pile. I'm going to put the timestamps in the description and in the comments below, and we are going to get started now with pile number 1. Hi group 1, so if you chose First Light, Beginning a New Cycle, then this is your message. So welcome to your reading. We are going to start with your tarot and oracle cards today and then do your charms at the end. And we are also going to be using the Voyages story cubes today, just for some extra messages. So if you've not seen those before, I'll kind of explain what's going on once I get to those. I usually do it in between the cards and the charms. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. So let's figure out if you are on the right path. So for your tarot, you have the Star card, the World, Ten of Fire, and Six of Air. So I kind of love this because there is a lot of movement energy in this pile. Six of Air is definitely movement forward, moving on to smoother times after you've been feeling like things have been tumultuous or feeling like you've been stuck. The Ten of Fire in this one, I kind of love the interpretation because usually this is equivalent to the Ten of Wands, so it's usually feeling burdened and just weighed down by a lot of things, taking on too much responsibility, having a lot of obligations. And I love this one because it looks like she's burning all of the things that don't serve her, like just getting rid of what doesn't work. I'm almost getting the sense of like checking things off your to-do list as well, so I feel like you're going to feel like you're achieving things pretty soon. But I do get the energy to kind of answer your question that yes, you are on the right path. I feel like you're kind of coming to the end of one cycle, you're beginning a new one because you have that Ten of Fire, and then you have the World card, which is achievement and success and the end of an era moving into a new one where you feel like that kind of triumphant energy at the end. And I feel like a lot of you, if you're feeling like you don't know where you're going, just have faith and hope, because I think you're going to get some reassurance pretty soon, because the Star is hope, it's faith, it's healing. I just feel like those good things are already on the horizon for you. So if you don't see them yet, just hold on a little bit longer, because I think things are going to be looking up for you. So let's see what your oracle cards have to say. So you have Polarity. Integrate your shadow side. There can be no light without dark. Understand the law of polarity. So I kind of love this because I feel like a lot of the time toxic positivity can kind of come up when you're trying to move forward, when you are like starting something new, when you're trying to manifest something. You know, the law of attraction, a lot of people say like you have to stay positive all the time. And the thing is, that's not realistic or true. It's just sometimes kind of coming to terms with what's going on and then redirecting your energy. But it doesn't mean that you have to be happy all the time, but just maybe hanging on to hope instead of, you know, letting that negativity completely win out. but I feel like maybe you have been in this dark space and it's saying this light is coming in because you have the star, you have beginning a new cycle. I didn't even pay attention until just now looking at that card, how much that links up with what we were saying, that you are at the end of one cycle and beginning something new. So I love that. I love the synchronicities when kind of cards come out like that. And oh my goodness, you have new beginning. So yeah, I'm getting chills. This is awesome. So yeah, you definitely have a new beginning coming in. I think if you're feeling like you're in that in-between phase, recognize that you are starting something new. So even if you're not really sure where you're going yet, I think things are going to be clearing up, because I think I keep looking at the Six of Air, like the clouds are kind of clearing away and you can kind of see the horizon, you see what's ahead a little bit, and I think you're going to start feeling a little bit more excited about the future and not as apprehensive. And then you also have power. So I think trusting in your own personal power, and this is making me think of talents as well, because he's like playing a flute. He's got this sheath of, or a quiver of arrows. Sorry, I'm like sheath of arrows. But yeah, I just get this feeling like he's kind of able to control the elements around him and like nature and everything. So I do feel like you are maybe underestimating yourself. And I think you're coming into a time where you're recognizing your power. And I'm sorry if you're hearing my cat sneezing. She's having a couple of sneeze attacks right now. But yeah, I just feel like you are coming out of this dark phase where you're not able to trust yourself. You're a little worried, apprehensive. You feel like you've taken on too much, that energy of like, what have I gotten myself into? And then that light's coming through and you're going to be able to trust in yourself and recognize that you are capable of this. You have Crystal Magic, number 21, which is awesome because that's the World card. Creation, Dawn, the Beginning. What? Okay, this is crazy. I usually don't get this many synchronicities in one reading. This is awesome. You definitely have this major new beginning coming here. And I do feel like with this like creation and dawn energy, you are manifesting something. There's something big coming in for you. And I feel like you're going to start recognizing what that is quite soon. But you are on the right path. I mean, that's been made abundantly clear to me. Even if you're feeling a little worried right now or you're not really sure, I feel like you're going to get that confidence that you're on the right path very soon. And then you have Secret Spring, Success, number 34. So success is also the World card. I was talking about that, and this kind of Ten of Wands achievement energy, like you've gotten to where you are, but then once you get there, you're either overwhelmed or you can't sustain that energy for long. So I feel like this is also saying enjoy your success while it's there, and then be prepared to move on as well, because I feel like a lot of the time once you peak, then there's that kind of crash afterwards. So I think sometimes redirecting your energy to something new can help you kind of move through that without feeling like, oh, now what's my life going to be? And then your final card is Trust. The robin trusts her wings, not the branch she sits on. So that kind of goes with the Power card, like I was talking about, that you have to trust in yourself. And I think just really believing in your own personal power is going to be key, and recognizing that the power is not in your circumstances, it's in you. Because I think a lot of you might be trying to give your power away to circumstances or other people, or feeling like, when your environment is a certain way, that's what gives you your power. But the thing is, the power comes from within you, and your environment is what you can kind of alter and change so that you have a better chance of flourishing. But that power definitely lies within you. So just don't forget that. So we are going to get your story cubes now. So what I usually do is roll the 10-sided die, and if it lands on 0, I roll again. Hold on. That went flying. All right. It landed on 7, so we are going to pull 7 dice for you. Let's get 7. Put one back. Okay. Okay. So let's see what we've got. So on the world, we've got the kind of medicine, the pill here. So that makes me feel like there's some healing that maybe needs to happen, maybe some self-care that needs to kind of come up. The backpack makes me think of adventure and kind of going into the new phase prepared. All these landed on the Power card. So I do feel like a big key right now is trusting in your personal power to do this. Because climbing the ladder, maybe you're climbing the corporate ladder or just some kind of career ladder, or you just feel like you're making some steps to move forward in your life. This a lot of the time makes me think of chemistry, like finding the right thing for you. But right now I'm seeing like the light and dark, and that's making me think of this polarity card. So I feel like a lot of you maybe are not trusting in yourself because you're seeing your dark side so much and you feel like that is making you not good enough. And there's just a lot of self-doubt that's kind of coming up. And with the whip too, that kind of gives me devil energy. So that kind of just like the toxic way that we talk to ourselves, like the negativity, being extra harsh on ourselves, not showing ourselves the same compassion that we show other people. And then cracking the whip is also making me think of like getting things done. Like you want to get things done, you want to move forward. That's kind of this like 10 of Wands energy. I feel like you've been cracking the whip and like getting stuff done. And now you're like, you know what, I'm done with that. Let's move forward. Let's move on. We have the pagoda here as well. So for some of you, this might be kind of travel related because I know this is the Voyages set of dice, but this is making me think of like traveling somewhere different, somewhere new, trying to find some inner peace as well. That's making me think a lot of like inner peace, like it's making me think kind of a Zen garden. So really trying to find a way to keep your calm even when there's chaos around you. And then with the shield, that makes me think of protecting yourself, especially with that success card. Maybe some of you need to kind of protect your success, make sure that you're not kind of selling yourself short or making sure that you're not allowing other people to walk all over you or to try to take credit for your success. But I don't think that's going to resonate with everyone. I feel like that's just for some people. But yeah, let's get your charms now for some more detailed information. Let's move the dice out of the way so I can put my tray down. And we're going to use the heart to figure out what's in the heart of the situation today. So group 1, are you on the right path? All right, so in the heart today, we have the number 22. So that might be coming up for you, especially as a repeating number for a lot of you. I see 22s a lot, so a lot of the time if you see a repeating number, that's got a message for you. So people can maybe even look up the numerology of that. I'm not a numerology expert, but I believe 2s are about harmony, about partnerships a lot of the time. So if you have like a business partner, I keep looking at the hedgehogs on my little tin back there. So maybe it is like a partnership of some sort, like a business partnership or relationship, something like that. But maybe that's resonating with a lot of you. And then we've got, if I can get it kind of centered here, we've got the elephant. So the elephant never forgets. So sometimes that means that your past is kind of holding you back, or there are things from your past that you're trying to learn from. It's just something from your past is having some power over you at this time. And then that also can do with like moving forward steadily as well. Family is important, so that kind of goes with the 22. Maybe there's some kind of relationship that is significant for you on this path at this time. So let's just kind of get into it. So you have happy. So I do think that this path is going to make you very happy. I feel like you've waited a long time to be happy. You've got the fortress here, the castle. So I feel like a lot of you have been kind of having your guard up for a long time. Like you've been feeling very burnt out because you've kept your walls up for so long, and it's time to kind of let that go a little bit. You have song. So some of you might have a specific song, like song lyrics that are coming through for you to kind of give you a message. Like maybe some of you have heard repeating lyrics, or there's been a song stuck in your head like 3 nights in a row or something. I've had that happen to me a lot, and usually it's got a message. Or the other night, it was crazy. I actually had a dream that somebody told me, listen to this song, and I had never heard of it, and it wasn't a real song in the dream because it was like, this is part of this movie soundtrack, and it doesn't actually exist. But I just looked up the name of the song and lyrics, and a song came up by that name that I've never heard of. It's by a band I've never heard of, and those lyrics were exactly what I needed to hear at that time. So I thought that was crazy that that came through in my dream. So you might have something similar coming up. So just pay attention to song lyrics at this time. You have Leo energy here. So Leo energy is very passionate, very determined, very much like in the spotlight, confidence. There's a lot of personal power that Leo has. So, and that kind of energy I think is something you might need to embody right now. You You have the rose, and that always gives me some like Beauty and the Beast vibes, like beauty is found within. So I think, again, really showing yourself compassion, recognizing the beauty in yourself and the uniqueness in yourself, and recognizing your personal power. Lassie makes me think of asking for help or getting help when you feel like all hope is lost, when you really need it. So somebody might be coming through for you. Some more protection energy with the thimble. So some of you might be really trying to protect yourselves. And I think you can kind of let the walls down. You have the hibiscus flower. So that represents beauty. There's a lot of like beauty energy here, and a lot about like exotic, unique, just feeling different, feeling a little bit out of place. So I do think a lot of you are feeling very much like you don't fit where you are currently, and maybe that's why you're needing to move forward on this new path, have this new beginning. And some of you might be Aquariuses as well, because with that uniqueness and like idealistic, feeling like the black sheep, that makes me think of Aquarius, and Aquarius is like the counterpart to Leo as well. So I feel like some of you might have Aquarius placements, but that might not resonate with everyone either. That just kind of popped into my head, so I felt like I had to say it. You have hug, so I do think a lot of you would benefit from support from other people. So if someone offers you a hug, I think take it, because I know that helps me a lot, especially if I'm feeling very down. Sometimes when my walls are up, it's like having somebody just hold me for a little bit can help me feel a little bit more worthy of the good things in life, if that makes sense. And then underneath, this is a great way to end it, because you kind of began and ended your charms with the same energy, which is the sun. So that's happiness, success, achievement, clarity. So a lot of really great positive energy in this pile. So I hope that this resonated with you, Group 1. I would love to hear if it does. So please leave me a comment below if it resonated. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button for me and subscribe to my channel if you've not already done so. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi, Group 2. So if you chose Discovering Truth, you stand in the light of truth, then this is your message. So welcome to your reading. We are going to start with your tarot and oracle cards and then do your charms at the end. And we're also using the Voyages story cubes today. So if you have not seen me do that before, I'll kind of explain how I do that later on. I usually do those between the cards and the charms, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. So let's figure out if you are on the right path. So for your tarot, you have the 3 of water, 8 of fire, and the moon. So with that moon card, I definitely feel like a lot of you are feeling very confused, maybe kind of conflicted. You're not really sure if you're on the right path. You feel like you can't really see what's in front of you. Maybe you're having a lot of kind of darker emotions come up as well. Like you're feeling kind of down on yourself. You're feeling doubtful. You might be feeling something intuitively, and then you're not really sure if it's your intuition or if it's just your imagination kind of playing tricks on you. So hopefully we can kind of clear things up for you. We also have the 3 of water, so that makes me think that a sense of community is important in this. Other people, a sense of joy, getting together with people, friends. This is celebration. It's just a very like joyful, positive energy. And then the 8 of fire is things moving forward. So I do feel like things are going to be moving forward quite quickly for you, and it might get kind of overwhelming. This is also communication, it can be travel, but it's just a very direct, fast-moving energy, and it often means that things are already manifesting for you, even if you're not seeing the results yet. So with the moon, maybe that's saying, just focus on, your friends, focus on having fun, focus on some joyful energy, and trust that whatever this is coming in already, so you don't need to know what's coming yet. So let's see if we can get some more detail and answer your question with the oracle cards. So you have possibility, raise your standards, elevate your expectations, you have unlimited potential. So maybe some of you have been kind of selling yourself short on what you want, maybe what you're able to ask for. Maybe some of you are looking for a better group of friends, or you want something better than what you have, or you just feel like what you're in right now isn't resonating with you. And I am kind of looking at your Discovering Truth card too, because it looks like these people are kind of like, let's go this way, here's what's over here. And then this person is like, hey, I'm going to explore this direction, even though it's not maybe on the path, it's not going the same direction as everyone else, but they just feel like that is their truth. That's what they need to do. So I feel like maybe that's the dilemma that you're in right now, is trying to figure out what direction to go in. Maybe it's not going to be down the same path as all these people that you care about. Maybe you're changing groups. Maybe there's another group of people over here and you just can't see them yet. Maybe you're kind of moving in that direction. You have good fortune. So to me, this is saying that there is a lot of good stuff coming to you. It can be monetary success. That's probably the most literal meaning for this card, but it can also just be abundance in other forms. So love or, relationships. Like, I'm just thinking a lot of it, I think for many of you, is going to be friendships and just feeling like you found your community of people that just you really resonate with, you fit with, the people that you can talk with endlessly about anything. I feel like a lot of possibilities are going to be opening up for you. And I feel like maybe the reason that you can't see what's ahead is because you have a lot of options and you're not necessarily meant to know exactly what's ahead of you because you have so many choices. You can take your pick. That's kind of the energy I'm getting so far. You have Gossamer Princess, communication, relationship work to be done, number 12. So yeah, like I feel like a lot of you maybe need to work on some relationships in your life. So it can be romantic, but Three of Cups usually for me is like family, friends. It's just like your soul group, your kindred spirits. So maybe some of you need to communicate how you're feeling with someone, because that Eight of Wands is also communication. Maybe some of you are feeling like you're not resonating with what your friends or family want you to do, so you need to speak up about that. Maybe you need to communicate that you want something different than what you have wanted for a long time, and maybe things are changing and you need to let people know about that. Because I feel like if this group currently is not a group that's going to support you, you're going to quickly find your group that will support you. But I think this group might also surprise you. You might be saying, this is actually what I want now. And they might be like, oh yeah, that's awesome. That would be great. And be, just really supportive, surprisingly. Because I feel like a lot of you are maybe worried that someone is going to be upset with you for changing your mind or for moving away or, whatever decision you're making. And then you also have Secret Doorway, working with intuition, second sight opening, dimensional doorways, number 5. So that fits really well with the Moon card, actually, is that kind of intuition, second sight, just a lot of things kind of opening up, because I feel like you're opening up to your intuition a bit, but I think you're still not quite able to decipher what's true and what's false, what's an illusion, what's reality. I feel like maybe that's what this is about. Maybe you're getting a lot of messages intuitively, and that's the messages coming through in that 8 of Fire, but with the Moon, you're not, there's not enough clarity, but I think you're going to get clarity with that. You stand in the light of truth. That's really, that message is like kind of floating around in my brain. You stand in the light of truth. So a lot of you, I think, are going to get some clarity. You're going to recognize what is true, what is false, what you need, what you don't. I think that that's going to clear up for you. You have Wise Woman of the Grove, Grace, number 49. So with Grace, I'm feeling like it's just saying be compassionate towards yourself. Don't judge yourself or be harsh on yourself for mistakes that you've made or for maybe not knowing then what you know now. And I love that this is Wise Woman of the Grove, because I feel like you are very wise, and I think you need to not doubt your wisdom, because I think a lot of you maybe are doubting yourself, or you're feeling like, oh, I'm not actually that wise. Like, it, and then you doubt yourself, and, you just get into that kind of spiral. And, maybe that's what the Moon is talking about as well, is that you get into kind of that dark phase where you're like, no, I can't trust myself. But then you come out of it and you're like, no, I can. And it just kind of keeps cycling through that. And then you have Starry Night, Acceptance, number 41. So I feel like a lot of you maybe are the type to like go out at midnight and look at the stars to maybe ask for guidance. Like, I feel like there's a lot of like nighttime energy here, because you've got the Moon, you've got Starry Night. I just feel like this is a very like nocturnal group. So a lot of you might feel like you can think your best at night. Like, you feel like the world is quiet, you can actually think clearly, you can see clearly. Maybe that's when you do your best, like, creative project kind of thing. Maybe that's when you feel like you want to communicate with other people, you want to connect with people at night, and then it gets kind of lonely because not everybody is up then. But with acceptance, I feel like it's just saying accept yourself as you are. That kind of goes with grace as well, since you had grace on your other card. I think a lot of you just need to accept yourselves for who you are and recognize that there's nothing wrong with the way that you are. Because I think a lot of you are extremely hard on yourselves. That's kind of what I'm getting, is that you're really trying to force yourself into a box that you don't fit in, and then you feel like if you're not fitting in that box, maybe you need to know what your path is already. Because I feel like this is saying you don't need to know the exact path, just trust in yourself, and I think you'll be able to use your inner guidance to kind of propel you on your path. Because I feel like a lot of you are trying to figure out what that path holds before you even take a step down there. And this is saying, you know what, just trust, like, go through this doorway even though you don't know what's in there. Just trust, like, if you're feeling that pull, just go for it. And like thinking about keeping yourself in a box, I just spotted this too, that it totally looks like they're in this, like, whatever this is, I don't know if it's a stone or what, but it's in this box and then it's glowing, and I feel like the box needs to open and kind of let it shine its light. So I think that's what you need to do for yourself too, is I think a lot of you are kind of dimming your light so that you don't stand out so much, or so that people don't question you, and you don't need to do that. And then you finally, for your last card, you have kindness. Take respite by a pond and be kind to yourself and others. So be kind to others. I think a lot of you maybe can get a little bit harsh. Not all the time, but I feel like if you bottle up your feelings or your true thoughts, and then you get kind of, your buttons get pushed, and then you kind of blow up with what you really think, you know, that you've been trying to fit yourself into a box for so long that then you kind of like explode out a little bit. And that's just for a few of you, but I think otherwise, make sure that you're being kind to yourself. I think that that's the biggest message with this. And then otherwise, I think there are a lot of people who are wanting to be kind to you. Again, this is like a very supportive group of people that are around. So just allow them to give to you. I think that that's one thing that many of you need to hear, is allow yourself to receive, because a lot of the time, if you're the one who's giving, or you feel like you have to take care of everybody else, it's hard to receive, and it's hard to allow other people to give to you. But it feels good to give to other people, so allow other people to experience that goodness by giving to you. So we are going to get your story cubes now, and I roll this 10-sided die to figure out how many story cubes to pull for you. So you got 5. So let's get 5 of these out. Put a few back. All right. Okay. So seeing clearly, you stand in the light of truth. I love that with the glasses here, because that's definitely what that makes me think of, is seeing clearly, being able to recognize what's true. Like the fog is lifting. So I do think that that moon is going to kind of clear up as well. And this is seeing far ahead as well. So I feel like a lot of you do really want to know what's coming before it comes. Like you're not as okay with not knowing what's coming. So I think maybe you need to kind of trust in the process and trust in yourself. Because I do think you're going to have kind of an aha moment, and it's going to be more magical, because I feel like you need to maybe trust in the magic, because the moon can be magic. Your 2 fairy cards are very magical. The Starry Night makes me think of magic. There's just a lot of like really ethereal, wonderful energy in this pile. I think you need to not belittle yourself, because with the big person and the little person, I feel like you are looking down on yourself, or you're looking back at your past self, like, what were you thinking? And I think you need to forgive yourself and just allow yourself some grace. You know, you wouldn't talk to a loved one like that. You wouldn't be that harsh on them. So don't be that harsh on yourself, even on your past self, especially when your past self didn't know as much as your current self does. And then with this cave, that makes me think that some of you went into like hermit energy, and you really needed to just kind of take some time away from other people and away from the world and just think, and just, I think some of you tend to like stew and brood. So be careful of that. But I do think you do think well when you can just be on your own at night looking at the stars. I think a lot of you maybe need to be out in nature as well, because there's obviously a lot of nature energy. I kind of picked that theme on purpose, but with yours, I feel like walking around in the woods and then being outside at night, those are 2 big things that will kind of help you. So we're going to get your charms now for some more information. So let's get the tray in here. And we're going to use the heart to figure out what's in the heart of the situation today. So group 2, are you on the right path? All right, so we've got the circus tent in the heart, which is perfect because the circus tent represents not exactly mystery, but that kind of unexpected. I guess that's what the word is that comes to mind, is the unexpected surprises. You know, before you pull the edge of that tent up, when you go in, you're not really sure what to expect. And a lot of the time when you go in there, you're shocked by what's there. You know, it's exciting and it's fun, but it's like you have no idea what you're in for before you go to it. You've got a few initials here. So you have V and you have Y. I think that's it. So for some of you, oh wait, you've got another Y. So I feel like a lot of you are very much questioners, that you are like, why is this happening? Why did I do that? You know, you're very over analytical, and I can't judge that because I'm very over analytical. So when I say stuff like that, it's me also. But I feel like a lot of you definitely kind of judge your past self. Why did I do that? Why is this happening? Like, why couldn't I have done this instead? And I think you need to kind of release that. So, but those are also initials if those are coming up with any kind of words for you, or initials of people or places or just other things that come to mind. They're going to be kind of different for everybody. We've got the little candy cane here, which makes me think of like a little special holiday treat. For some reason, this is making me think of like the first sign of something exciting coming. So like candy canes, I feel like sometimes people have like the mini ones that kind of get left over from previous holidays or whatever, and it's like you open a drawer and you still have like leftover ones, so it gets you kind of excited for the year ahead. I don't know why that's what's coming up, but maybe that specific kind of image is resonating with someone. But that just makes me think of like a treat and something special, something exciting. It's like a little just a sign of like what's to come. I think a lot of you do have hearts of gold, and you have people around you who have hearts of gold, so just trust in the people around you. I think you need to maybe allow people to be kind to you and to give to you. You have number 1 here, so 1s are about new beginnings. They're about your own personal power as well, with the Magician card in tarot is number 1, so that might resonate with you. You have the golfer, so that makes me think of like energy already being sent out. So that's what we were talking about with the 8 of Wands. So something is already manifesting. You have the thimble, and group 1 got the thimble as well. So I feel like you're trying to protect yourself from something. Like maybe that's why you're judging yourself so harshly, is that you're really trying to protect yourself and make sure that you don't mess up or you don't get judged. And I think you're judging yourself in the process, so it doesn't really work that way. Some of you might have love coming in because you do have the little Cupid's arrow shot through the heart. You have the little nurse's cap, so healing is important. Some of you also might be nurses, or that might resonate in a different way, but I feel like a lot of you need to maybe heal your hearts. Maybe you've been judged in the past, or you just got betrayed one too many times. With the monkey, that kind of goes with the circus tent, with that element of like fun and unexpected and spontaneity and just like a lot of playful energy. You have the fawn here, so that's innocence, that's new beginnings. Again, that's maybe freezing as well, like a deer in the headlights is kind of what comes to mind. So a lot of you might freeze up when you don't really know what's coming. Maybe that's why you like to plan ahead so much, is because you get stressed out to the point that you stop doing anything. And then you have the little cannabis leaf, so a lot of you might need to just kind of chill and relax and not stress out so much, because I think a lot of you might just micromanage to the point where you want to know every step of what's coming. And I think some of you just need to relax and not stress out so much about it. Just allow the unexpected to come to you. So group 2, I hope that this resonated. I think you've got so many paths ahead of you. I do think that you can pick whatever path you choose. That's, I think, the answer to your question. But please leave me a comment if it resonates. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you've not already done so. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi, group 3. So if you chose rainbow blessings, blessings are showering your life for your pile, then this is your message. So welcome to your reading. We're going to start with your tarot and oracle cards and then do your charms at the end. And we are using the Voyages story cubes today as well. So if you've not seen me use those before, I'll kind of explain once we get to them how I do that. That usually comes between the cards and the charms. So just make sure that you stay tuned for that. So let's figure out if you are on the right path. For your tarot, you have the Seven of Fire, the Hanged Man, and the Five of Earth. So I'm getting the sense that a lot of you have been fighting to get through to something, or you've been just facing a lot of obstacles, or you feel like it's you against the world for a while. Because that's the Seven of Fire. The Seven of Fire is equivalent to the Seven of Wands, so that's persistence, that's pushing through. And I think a lot of you are kind of losing hope, or you're feeling like you're lacking the resources that you need, or you're just not feeling very motivated. You're feeling very left out in the cold. Just things are feeling very cold for you right now with the Five of Earth. So I just feel like a lot of you are just feeling like you don't have what it takes to achieve this. But the Hanged Man says, take a step back, maybe take a break. Maybe some of you have been pushing so hard you need to take a break, like force yourself to take a break. You might be feeling kind of in limbo, but I think you need to change your perspective. I think that that's going to be the key in moving forward to where you want to be, is changing your perspective. So that might mean changing your path. It might mean just changing the way that you think about it, but I do think that that is the key, because that's right in the center of your reading. That's the major arcana card that you have. That's really what's standing out to me. But I want to look at your oracle cards and see what they have to say. So you have Healer. You have powerful healing gifts. Have faith in your abilities. Stay true to your path as a healer. So this might be literal, that some of you are healers, that you might feel very much like people are drawn to you who have issues that need healing, or like people really love to be around you. You have a lot of empathy. It might mean that you're in the medical field, or you're a therapist, or you do something that is actively helping to heal other people. But this also could mean that you need healing, and that's what I think it is for a lot of you, is that you really need to take a step back and allow yourself to heal before you can move forward. Because the Five of Earth means that you feel very beaten down by life. You just feel like the traditional imagery on this is two people usually out in the snow, in the cold, outside of like a church, feeling like they're completely shut out. But in a lot of versions, the church doors are open, they're just not going in. So it's like you have the opportunity to kind of get the resources that you need, but you need to take the step to get them, instead of kind of, I don't want to say wallowing in your own misery, because it's not quite that, but it's like missing what's right in front of you, what can help you, and like seeking out help and aid if you need it, seeking out that healing that you need, and taking a break. Like, I just feel like you guys need to take a break. That's huge. That's really what's coming through. And then you also have awareness. Live in the moment, be conscious of your thoughts, look for signs and guidance. So that's giving me a couple things with the cards that we have already. So live in the moment, definitely. I think you need to really be focused on the moment, not always focused on the future. I think that's why the Hanged Man is telling you to take a step back, maybe just observe what's around you. Be conscious of your thoughts. That's also the Hanged Man, really focusing on what's good in your life, or what you want to achieve, what you want to manifest, and not just focusing on the obstacles, because I think then all you're going to see are obstacles. So I think you need to kind of retrain your brain and then look for signs and guidance. And I feel like for a lot of you, that sign is going to be a rainbow, because you have the rainbow blessings. And when I said look for signs and guidance, my eyes automatically went to that. So I think for a lot of you, rainbows or double rainbows are going to be a big sign for you. So just kind of keep that in mind. You have soulmate. So for a lot of you, maybe what you're looking for, what you're trying to do is get a soulmate level relationship. For a lot of you, this could be a soulmate coming in, or even like a soulmate in the spiritual realm helping you out. So I think for a lot of you, there are going to be signs coming from the spiritual realm that you are being very fiercely protected and guided. But for a lot of you too, this is what you're trying to go after or trying to manifest. So I do think that there is a soulmate either in your life currently or coming in for you, but you might need to kind of take a step back and look at things differently before you recognize who they are, where they are, how to get them, that kind of thing. You have Green Man's Bride, Sacred Union, Commitment Ceremony, Maturing into Deep Relationship, number 38. So yeah, a lot of you, it seems like this is having to do with a relationship. It has to do with love. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship if that's not resonating with you. It can also be just deepening a connection that you have with somebody, because soulmates are not always romantic. But I feel like a lot of you really do want this like mature, settled relationship. Like you want that. And some of you might be holding back from that because you feel like you don't have the monetary resources available to provide for anybody or to give anything of yourself to someone. Some of you might be pushing so hard because you want somebody to commit to you or to like you, and it's just not working. So you need to take a step back, figure out why you're pushing so hard for someone who maybe doesn't feel the same way. The Hangman is just telling me that you guys need to shift your perspective, and I think you're going to get some clarity on the situation, but you do need to look at it a little bit differently. Look at it from a different angle, try something differently. But I do think taking a step back and connecting with yourself, slowing down for a little bit and just taking a break is going to really help you. You have Aspen Spirit, Courage, number 3. So I do think being brave enough to push forward, to keep moving forward. I keep looking at my sign. So that's 7 of Wands, 7 of Fire energy for sure. But I think having the courage to like be bold as well, since this is like soulmate energy coming through. Maybe some of you need to voice your opinion, voice your feelings to somebody. I just think a lot of you are holding back, and that's not serving you. So make sure that you are being courageous, being brave, doing something a little bit risky. And then you have Earth Spirit, Stability, number 14. So I think a lot of you are concerned about stability. You're maybe concerned that someone doesn't want to commit to you, or you don't want to commit to them. You're concerned about your monetary resources. Like, I think a lot of you are worried about finances, but this is saying, you know, if you just go for something, you are going to find a way to stabilize that. I do feel a very solid energy from this pile, and with the blessings showering your life card, I mean, you don't have anything to worry about, even if you feel like you're in this 5 of Pentacles energy where just nothing is good and just you feel lost, you feel hopeless, you know. Heal that. I think that's why it's saying take a break, heal that, make sure that you are allowing those blessings to come into your life, that you're recognizing them when they're there, and just recognizing that things are going to stabilize. And then finally, you have 2 cards left. So you have Caution, tread softly so as to not disturb the woodland floor. So maybe that's a lot of you are being overly cautious, or that's what you have to do because you're kind of pushing forward so hard. You need to maybe take a more delicate touch to things. And then you have Uncertainty. The shades of gray within the fog will eventually lift. So that uncertainty is going to lift. You're going to get some clarity on the situation. You're not going to feel so worried about things anymore. I think that that sense of uncertainty and that feeling of lack is going to clear up for you for sure. So we are going to get your story cubes now. So I'm going to roll this 10-sided die to figure out how many cubes we're going to roll. And where did that go? That landed like right in front of the camera where I couldn't see it. So you have 6. So we're going to roll 6 dice for you today. So, oops, 1 too many that I put back. All right. So yeah, there's this sense of worry in this situation for sure. There's this uncertainty, stress for sure. I think a lot of you are just almost like shaky because you're so worried about how things might turn out. I think a lot of you need to relax. That's huge. So you have the Submarine. So that makes me think of like deep diving, really delving into your emotions, figuring out why you feel that way, seeing things differently, like seeing things from a different perspective. This is making me think of maybe what you have to do to enact your healing that has to happen. You have the little ray gun. That makes me think of like laser focus as well, because that landed on awareness. So I feel like a lot of you need to really kind of hone in your focus and figure out what you're looking at, what you're looking for. You have the little like amoeba or whatever it is too. So I think a lot of you maybe are kind of absorbing energies from around you. Maybe some of you are just feeling sick and tired because that's over by healing or healer. So I think a lot of you, there is this like sick energy around you that you need to heal. So it could just be like a mental health issue. It could be just exhaustion. It could be that your health is actually kind of, you know, not the best right now. So just take care of yourself. You do need to really work on healing yourself. I'm going to actually move that so it's actually in the frame. You have the person looking down at the little person. So I think not belittling yourself. I believe group 2 had this same one, or group 1. I don't remember which group, but somebody else had this same image come up. So a lot of you need to kind of cut yourself a break. Maybe even taking a different perspective. I'm looking at that hangman card. So maybe some of you have been looking at it like too close or whatever, and you need to take a different perspective, look at it from a higher perspective. And then you have the little sack here, which makes me think of finances, money. It makes me think of like the old-timey movies with like the big canvas bag with the dollar sign on it. So a lot of you, I do think money is a big concern right now, and that's maybe what's preventing you. And one thing I kind of love, before I kind of go on that, I'm going to go on a different tangent. He's got like his hand like this, and we've got this bag right here, and I'm just picturing like putting the bag in his hand like he's holding that. So maybe there's a soulmate who wants to offer you something, but they just feel like they don't have anything for you. You know, they have nothing to give, even though they have a lot of other gifts to give, but they don't have the financial security for you. But I think you two can build it together. It's just maybe that's what's holding them back. So try not to take it personally. That's kind of one message that's coming through. But otherwise, I feel like a lot of you just feel like you don't have enough, or you're trying to get that abundance, and that's really important for you to have that stability. But I think a lot of you just need to trust that that's going to come for you. So we are going to get your charms now for some more information. So I'm going to kind of push the dice out of the way. And we're going to use the heart today to figure out what's in the heart of the situation. So group 3, are you on the right path? Okay, and then, alrighty, this has never happened. This one just hooked on my thumb. That's literally never happened, even though I have this big charm in my charm tin. That has never happened during a video that I'm aware of. So the moon hooked on my thumb, so that's definitely this energy of like worry and lack of clarity, like nighttime energy. So group 2 had the moon card, I believe, came out. So I do feel like maybe some of you wanted to watch group 2 as well. If you were feeling drawn to that and you picked group 3, maybe go back and watch group 2 too. They might have a message for you as well. And then you have the little heart wreath with the flowers growing here. So that makes me think of love growing, you know, giving it time to grow as well. It's going to flourish. I just think that you have to allow it to. And I love that the word heart landed in the heart. I don't think I've ever had that happen where it was just that word in the heart. So I do think a lot of you are thinking of somebody, and someone is thinking of you. I feel like someone's heart inside your heart is kind of the energy I'm getting from that. I don't usually like take the dish into the reading, but I kind of love that right now. And I'm putting those there too, since they got hooked on my thumb. And yeah, love. I mean, you've got so much love energy here. This is interesting because usually I don't get this much love energy in a non-love reading, but I feel like this is like the love pile for the most part. So a lot of you might be really wanting somebody specific, or you're wanting that soulmate energy, like you're really wanting that. So I do think that's coming for you, but you might need to just shift your perspective, or like kind of have a course correction, like just shift a little bit. And I think that you are kind of on or near the right path, but it really is like you have to shift your mindset to be on the same path that you're physically on, if that makes sense. You have the fairy door, so that's just talking about trusting and like walking through the door, being willing to walk through that door without knowing entirely what's behind it. Some of you might have some luck with like online dating with the computer. I don't always think online dating with the computer, but right now that's kind of what's coming to me because you have so much love energy in this pile. You have the number 3 here. So that might be a significant number or date or something. And you have the number 3 here. I love that. Okay. So repeating numbers, you might get a lot of 3s coming up, but 3 is definitely a significant number for this pile. And I love it because you're pile 3. So that's awesome. You have the lone wolf. So some of you might feel like a lone wolf and you're maybe tired of being lonely, because wolves also are pack animals. So I think you do need to reach out and make connections with other people. Maybe you need to make peace with someone that you've been having conflict with, because you have the dove here and that's about peace. Doves can also symbolize love as well, because people release doves at weddings and things like that. So that might resonate with you. You have the pack mule, so a lot of you maybe need to drop what's not serving you. You need to let go of some things that are getting too heavy for you to carry to take onward. You have the little mixer here, so that makes me think of just like mixing the right amounts of things, maybe adjusting the recipe as well. And some of you might actually be like bakers or like really into baking, because I feel like a lot of you, maybe that's how you cope with things, like to stay busy. It's like a good way to work with your hands. So that could be a hobby some of you are into. You have star here, so that's hope and faith and things getting better, healing again. You've got all this healing energy. You have the little key, so success will be had. Definitely things are going to get better for you, and I love that you have this key and you have the door, but you do have to choose to unlock it and walk through. And there's definitely this element of like the unknown here, because you have two passports. So I do think a lot of you, there are two of you. You might be going on a trip soon with somebody, maybe even someone unexpected. It could be with this love. You could have a trip already planned, or you could get surprised with a trip, or it could be spontaneous. Passports definitely have to do with travel, but they also have to do with doing something you've never done before, exploring an unknown place. Maybe you two are at a distance from each other, and that's another reason why things are kind of complicated right now. But there's just a lot of energies coming through here. So I hope that this resonated with you. I definitely feel like you're on the right path in a lot of ways, but I do think that shift has to happen kind of within you for you to really feel like you're on the right path and be confident about moving forward. But things are going to get better. You've got so much love and healing and blessings coming to you. So I would love to hear if this resonates. Please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you've not already done so. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.